What's going on, everyone? My name is Craig with the Animal Kingdom Pirates, and today we're going to go over my deck profile for Black Purple King. If you don't know what King does, he's a 5k leader, and he has the ability of activate main once per turn. You can return 2 Dawn cards to your Dawn deck to give one of your opponent's characters -2 to their cost during this turn, or if you have 5 or less cards in hand, you draw a card. So let's go over the cards in the deck. First up, the bread and butter of the deck, Onigashima Island. Card is important for the deck because it lets you get to 10 Dawn as fast as possible and just start playing our big bodies and start controlling what our opponents are doing. Next, we have 4 1-cost Queen searchers. You can look at, when you on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose an Animal Kingdom pirate card other than Queen and add it to your hand. So basically, if you don't have Onigashima in hand, you're looking for Onigashima as this Animal Kingdom. Next, we have 4 Tsurus. That is just a normal 2k counter with a great effect of, giving one of your opponent's characters -2 on play. Card is just a staple. Next up, I play 4 Sasakis. 2k counter, Animal Kingdom pirate tag. It has the activate main of rest one of your Dawn, and you may rest this character to give one of your opponent's characters -2 to their cost during this turn. It is a searchable 2k, and also if need be, it helps you reduce the cost so you can KO things a little bit bigger later in the game. I play 3 Shiki blockers. It's a 2-cost 1k blocker. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn on your field, you draw a card and you discard a card. It's really good in the early game against Zoro and Calgara, as those decks can go wide real quick and you need to be able to protect your life to get to the late game to take over. Next up, I play 4 Kamazos. 4-cost 5k character with 2k counter. He lets you do some crazy things with your leader. So if he's in play and they have a 4-cost character, you can return 2 Dawn to your Dawn deck to give their character -2 to make it down to 2. And then he'll see that you return Dawn and they have a 2-cost character, which he can KO. Card is very good in the deck. It lets you, in the late game, when you have like 10-cost Kuzan in play, it lets you KO multiple things with Jack and stuff like that. It gets real silly real quick. I play 4 Kuzans. Oh, 3 Kuzans. Sorry. 3 Kuzans. 4 costs 5k. Kuzans is really good because it has the on play of draw a card and when attacking, give -4 to one of your opponent's characters. You can play Nico Robin in this spot from the structure deck. I like Kuzan as it gives you a turn 2 play if you don't see stage to draw a card, and it's just a must-kill body for your, get rid of body really for your opponents. Next, I play 4 5-cost Sabo blockers. Card is fantastic. It helps protect the rest of your characters. On play, draw 2, discard 2, then give your characters in play immunity to KO effects. Card's just staple. We also play 4 of the Who's Who, the 5-cost 5k on play. I can trash a card to KO a 3-cost or less, and it has the trigger of KO a 3-cost or less. Card is a 2k, searchable through Queen. I think in my deck alone I run 22ks, as trying to protect your life to get to a late game is very important in this deck. I also play 4 Sanji blockers. This card, when your opponent gets to 10 Dawn and you have 10, you can start using your leader effect to go to 8. Play this on 3. Onigashima back the Dawn. It's really cool because you just need a block late game once you get them down to like only their leader and maybe one other character. So having a 3-cost blocker late is very good. Also 2k. This card is bananas. 4 Jack. Card does it all. It's an 11-cost character when it's in play. So other black decks have a hard time removing them. activate main, you may rest this character, draw a card, then trash a card from your hand, then KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. So again, you can, if you don't see like your super late game Kuzan, you can, you know, reduce their 5 cost down to 3 and KO it if need be with any of these other effects. I played 2 8-cost Sabos. I've been playing these and I've been testing out 9-cost Kaido, the one from OP08, where you can activate main, trash a card from hand, and trash a 7-cost. Right now I've seen a lot of Kaogara at my local, so that's why I've gone with the Sabo. But if I was to take this to like a regionals, I would probably play the 9-cost Kaido in its spot, as Borsalino blocker and just other blockers that can't be KO'd, like Fukuro and stuff like that, can be an issue just to end the game. So it's up to your meta. And then, like I've alluded to before, we play 4 10-cost Kuzans. This is the card you want to get to as soon as possible. Once it's in play, I feel like the deck goes on easy mode for the most part, as long as you have like 1 to 2 life and you have like a blocker in hand. I think you can just take over the board after that, as this card basically allows your opponent never to have characters again with Jack and Kuzan. Like if you establish these two against like Purple Yellow Pudding, I've KO'd 4 10-cost Big Moms and 2 aces like back to back to back to back, because just having this Jack and leader effect, because I can just, this is in play, their Big Mom is a 5-cost, return attack for 7, return the 2 down there attached to him to reduce the Big Mom's cost to, by 2, going to 3, using Jack's effect, KO it. And if you get to that point where you're just able to control their bodies and they can't spam out, I feel like it's very easily winnable at that point. You'd have to brick real hard, and there's not a ton of bricks in this deck, but there are a few. And talking of bricks, we run 2 Gum Jet Gatlins. I feel like I've always been a huge fan of these 0-cost events. I played a lot of Purple Luffy, a lot of Magellan back in the day, and I've always played 2 to 3 of these in those decks, the purple ones. Card just does it all. It lets you discard extra Onigashimas. If you draw these late and you don't need them, helps, gives you counter. Same with these if these aren't needed. It's just, card is, I don't like playing decks that don't have 0-cost events in them, as it helps out a lot, in my opinion. The matchups overall, I feel like Zoro can be very difficult. The deck spams out real quick, and if you don't establish bodies to take care of theirs, like if you don't get your Kamazus out, and you don't get like you triggering a who's who is amazing against them, but like basically you want to try to see some early game pressure to take care of their characters, because you can, but it hurts. You really need to get to 10 Dawn before you start using his effect, King's effect. Just because like it sets you back too much if you use it too early to try to take care of one of their characters, because again, you're trying to get to this, and once you get to 10 Dawn, then his effect, I feel, is just free. It's like you use the 2 Dawn to attack or play like something, and then you get to draw a card late in the game, or give -2 to the cost and KO it with one of your other effects. Blue Dofi can be very rough just because they spam the board and their characters are very large. But again, if you just survive and you're able to keep their characters to a minimum, it's very winnable. I feel like it's still favored for Dofi. Lucci goes back and forth. Again, if you see your top end and you see multiples of it, it's good. Same with them. If they see their top end, like multiple Morias and stuff like that, it gets real rough. You know, I feel like that one's closer to 50-50. It just depends on who sees what. Bonnie, to my opinion, it all relies on Jack. You get Jack in play, and you start able to, you know, control all their stuff. Like their Basil Hawkins are no longer safe, because you just attack with all your other little things. Play a Jack, you know, get rid of their Basil, and they have nothing to tap down. Nami, I don't feel like you can beat Nami in a million years. Like, this deck is super slow, and this gives Nami way too much time to set up. There's, you can, but it takes a lot of finesse and a lot of luck on our end to beat a Nami deck. Purple Luffy, same thing as like against Dofi. They spam the board really quick, especially once they get their structure deck. It's going to get real wild, but you can definitely, again, it comes down to just survive the early game, the rush, get down the Kuzans, and then just go from there. Reiju, I haven't had any issues against Reiju. They basically just need to see Ichijis. They see Ichiji, like, they have to see multiple Ichijis, then they can get you, but I feel like it's not as bad because the other little characters don't matter. Like, the Reijus are small, their Nijis don't really do much because you only run these, and you're not going to play the Kamazus against them. Boa can go back and forth. She just needs to see her red rocks, and that's really it. Like, red rock, these characters right here hurts a lot, but that's just blue for you. And Nell hasn't felt terrible. Like, it's been, to me, the yellow matchups are all very favorable. They can't handle the top end. And Nell has the Raigo, Kingdom Come. That deals with Kuzan very cleanly, but they have to see it. But if you just see multiples of these and they don't see the Raigos, it's, again, very easy. Other than that, I very much enjoyed this deck. I understand it's not tier 1, but it's a very fun deck, and I plan on taking it to a regionals just to give it a shot. I mean, that might change. I'm a very big Purple Luffy player. Been playing Purple Luffy since 05. And so it gets the structure deck, so we'll go over that. And when those all come out, I'll do another deck tech on what I will play in my Purple Luffy deck. And I'm going to try to get the rest of the Animal Kingdom Pirates to do little deck techs with their stuff. Other than that, I'm happy you guys watched. Hopefully we get more of these videos out to you soon. Thank you.